Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, with 4 service centers to help you out when your computer's having trouble. Maybe you've purchased one of those prepaid maintenance checkup certificates. Now is the time you want to use that. Now, the reason that people buy those certificates, there's a lot of reasons why. When we put the sale on, it's not really convenient for people to come in that moment sometimes. Now, we run the sale for a month, so, I mean, you probably could find some convenient moment sometime in the month. But then again, maintaining your computer ranks right up there with, getting your furnace cleaned and, taking the car in for an oil change. Wonderful things to do, just not quite desirable in a moment in time. The other concern people have is a lot of people come in during the sale. We get busy, and as a result, turnaround times are a little slower because, more computers, same number of techs, things slow down a little bit. Well, one of the things that's kind of cool, when it starts to get warm enough that you can put plants in the ground, things at Schrock start to slow down a little bit. And it's weird because it took us years to figure out why we thought, is it summer vacation? Is it, and it's every year, right around the time when it's okay to start putting stuff in the ground, we start to slow down a little bit. We slow down over the summer, and then we pick back up as the fall approaches and back to school hits and everything else. So if you purchased a maintenance checkup certificate and you are looking for award-winning turnaround time, now is the time to bring that into the service center so you can get the full undivided attention of a technician looking at your computer, moving it through the process, and getting it back to you very quickly. So we have 4 locations that can help you out if you're in that boat. In the Lincoln area, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road, the original Schrock Innovations. Then in Omaha, 168th and Burke Street, which is just across the street from the Village Point Mall. Not in the mall, but across the street from the mall where the rent is slightly cheaper. Also, in Papillion, 84th and Highway 370 in the Midlands Place Shopping Center. And then the newest Schrock location in West Des Moines, Iowa at 9500 University Avenue. All those locations are there to help you out. You can bring your computers in. You can call in, get help over the Schrock desk. Or right now, the big thing that people are doing is we're running a special on Sophos antivirus to secure your computer. And I've always said, if you guys wanted me to, I could do a show to scare the pants off you with the security stuff that's out there. Every week, every single week, I could blow your mind with the stuff that's happening to people's computers. But, nobody likes to hear doom and gloom every single weekend, right? I mean, so, we got to make sure you're aware there's a threat out there. But we also have to make sure that, we don't overkill it so that you become numb to it, So last week on the program, we warned people specifically we warned the ag industry, which is huge in Nebraska and Iowa, obviously, that ransomware attackers were coming for them. If you run a co-op, if you run a business associated with ag in any way, they're coming for you during planting season and during harvest season because they believe these are time-sensitive, areas where companies will be willing to pay to expedite the recovery from a ransomware attack. Last night, as I faded from consciousness, way too late, later than it should have been, I habitually grab my phone and check the news to see what's going on before the show to make sure I'm bringing you the most recent current possible news, and this story pops up in my feed. Top tractor maker warns ransomware attack has adversely affected production. So literally, I am not Thorstradamus, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So I actually dropped that joke on a group of people, and the college girl looked at me like, "Oh, that's nice." And the older people all kind of chuckled, I haven't heard that one in a while, and they had to explain it to her. It was kind of like, oh man, when you have to explain it, my cultural relevance is starting to show, I think. I don't know. But basically, one of the world's top manufacturers and distributors of agricultural equipment announced on Thursday that a ransomware attack has impacted operations. It's Duluth, Georgia-based AgroCorp, released a statement. They said that they are still investigating the extent of the attack, which is pretty typical when you get hit with ransomware. You don't really know what in the world is going on for the first 24 to 48 hours. It's anticipated that its business operations will be adversely affected for several days and potentially longer. It will be longer. It's always longer. It's going to last for the disruption. The shutdown is going to last at least 2 weeks before they'll be able to get basic operations going again, possibly longer, depending on if they pay the ransom or not. depending on how quickly the company is able to repair its systems. So I don't know. They haven't said if they're paying the ransom or not. They make brands like Challenger, Fendt, Valtra. They make silos, things like that. So stuff that is important to the grain industry and the agriculture industry as a whole. Our expectations with regard to resolving the issues are forward-looking statements, and actual results could be materially different due to a number of factors, including our ability to successfully reinstall software and restore our IT operations at affected sites. So, yeah, I mean, even if you pay the ransom with these things, guys, this is highly disruptive. It breaks systems, and that's one of the challenges that we have sometimes, especially with frugal industries. Let's put it that way. And, you know, if you're a farmer, you're in a frugal industry. You're counting pennies, you're counting nickels, you're counting dimes, and the small things matter. So if you have a computer and it's running, you know, Windows 7 and it's doing its job just fine, why do you throw that computer away and replace it with a new computer? Sure, it's less secure, but you know, I'm running AVG or Avast. I'm fine. You know, everything's going to be great. Well, coming up on the program today, there's a huge flaw in AVG and Avast that has been running for 10 years. You thought you were safe. Also, coming up on the program today, we're going to be joined by my son, Jacob, who is working on his Eagle project. Because, you know, this is a bunch of doom and gloom stuff, right? But we got to throw some positive good news in there somewhere. So he's working on his Eagle project, and he is going to tell you all about how he is trying to help the foster kids in Omaha, in and around Omaha, making sure that they have the items that they need when they're transitioning from home to home. This is something that if you're a foster child yourself, you're acutely aware of the situation here. If you're a foster parent, God bless you, you're acutely aware of the situation. But a lot of people just aren't. They just don't know that these kids are in situations like this. And so Jacob is going to come on the show and tell us why he's doing what he's doing and how you can help him help the foster kids in Omaha. Also, if we get to it, and if not, I'll try to squeeze it in really quick at the end. China is banning all U.S. computers, servers, IT equipment, and operating systems, including Windows. This is a hugely significant event for the technology industry in the United States. Huawei and Lenovo, the two brands of Chinese laptops, are going to see massive sales increases over this. So we're going to bring you that story. Also, well, when it comes to your security, we're always trying to do what we can do to protect you better. And one of the challenges that we always have is we can build you the most secure castle. We can dig you the deepest moat. We can get the most ferocious alligators to get in that moat. We can put archers on the walls and knights at the gates. But if you lower the drawbridge intentionally for somebody, well, we can't do much about that until now. That's right. We're going to have we'll call it the drawbridge Karen. It's going to stand there and be like, I don't know if you should do that. Coming to your Sophos antivirus, a huge security improvement that's going to help keep you safer, keep your parents safer, keep your kids safer. So important stuff going to happen there. Also, we want your calls, 888-250-2091. Now, if you missed last week's program with the warning about the ag business stuff, there was also some other stuff. We talked about a free VPN that might be coming to Microsoft Edge. And also, what happens to all your digital accounts when you die? Like, who owns your Amazon Music when you die? Or who owns your Facebook pictures when you die? Those are all things that we covered last week on the program. You can check that entire show out on our website at schrockinnovations.com. Just click on radio show. Also, if you are on the computer or your phone right now, you can actually watch the show live at facebook.com/schrockinnovations. Facebook.com/schrockinnovations, where you can watch the show live along with Winston and Mary and Mitch and Aaron and Roger, and Kimberly, all here joining us so far this morning at facebook.com/schrockinnovations. 888-250-2091. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning of this, you're going to get the idea that the theme of this show is a security-related theme. There is no way to talk about security without telling you the bad stuff that's happening to people who don't take their security seriously. The things that we hear all the time at Schrock. I don't do anything important with my computer. No one is going to come after my computer. What would they want with it? If somebody attacks my computer, I'll just wipe it and reset it. Okay. I'm sure that's what the guys at Duluth thought with their computers that got attacked. If somebody got in here, one of these old computers, they're old, we could just replace it, but then we'll have a reason to replace it. Well, what you were finding out is when you have a weak link somewhere in your infrastructure. Right now, it's called the zero trust principle. Most consumers do not follow a zero trust principle. They will secure the things they think are important. That's like a digital safe. This computer is my important computer. It's got everything important on it. I am going to lock it down like a safe. And it'll have Sophos on it from Schrock, and it'll have Secure Updater on it, and everything will be fine. But you see, my kids, they're just playing online stupid games and stuff. They don't need a new computer. They can have my old computer for that. It runs Windows 7. I know I'm not supposed to have that on the internet because it's not safe anymore. But, I've got AVG running on it because, you can't run any major antivirus on Windows 7 anymore. So you have to go with a freebie. And because it's not safe. They can't make it safe. It just can't be done. So no company that sells their stuff is going to put their name on that. We're just going to let the kids play on that one. Well, kid's computer gets infected, and guess what? At some point, way back in the day, you wanted to let that kid print on the printer. So you connected the computer to the network, and you gave the computer permission to travel across the private network and see all the other computers on the network, and printers, and TVs, and smartphones, and smart thermostats, and your Ring doorbell, and everything else on the network that could have security vulnerabilities. Now you've just given the bad guys an open front door into your home network to attack anything they want. Now, I'm not saying there are currently vulnerabilities in Ring video doorbells, or there are currently vulnerabilities in any of these, Ecobee smart thermostats or anything like that. But the thing is, as we'll find out later in the show here, there could be an issue with these things going on for years before anybody figures it out. That's how people's phones are getting hacked, guys. There are vulnerabilities that no one has seen before. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, we brought you the story of how Android phones were being hacked through an audio codec. In English, somebody sent them an audio file and they played it. And that playing of the audio file was enough to infect their phone and give the attacker complete access. Because Apple created a codec 10 years ago. Android, they open sourced it. Android said, cool, and they used it. And Apple never touched it again because it was, they were done with it. They just open sourced it and put it out there. Android was using it. They said, well, Apple made it. It's good. And there was trust. And then all of a sudden, up in smoke. So you have to have a zero trust principle. You have to protect every device on the network. And you have to observe security protocols on every device on the network. Otherwise, none of the devices on your network are safe. So one of the challenges with this, you can go out and you can buy yourself Norton Lifelock. You hear ads on the radio all the time for Norton Lifelock. Celebrity endorsements, the whole bit. I hear guys, people I listen to on the radio, hawking Norton Lifelock. I wouldn't run that on a computer if you paid me to run Norton Lifelock on a computer. Not just because I can install Sophos on a computer and I get an employee discount, if you know what I mean. Not just because of that, but simply because it doesn't keep you safe in the same way that a professional corporate-grade antivirus would. It's a lower level of security. And yes, you can protect 5,000 devices with one subscription. Did you know that it goes up in price every year up to $250 a year at the end? Every year they raise the price on you. It's in the contract. They raise the price on you every year to a cap of $250. Did you know that Norton LifeLock can mine cryptocurrency on your computer and use your power and your computer's hardware to mine cryptocurrency? They give you a cut, but it's never enough that you're going to make money doing it or even make your subscription back, which is kind of how they sell it. Well, then there's McAfee. Well, McAfee used to be the real deal when John McAfee was running it. It was good stuff. And Intel bought it. And Intel got into the security business, and now McAfee is a shadow of its former self. Show me a McAfee computer, and I'll show you a computer that probably has something on it that shouldn't be there. Whether it's malware or adware, there's going to be something on that computer. When we see a customer come in with a computer and they tell us they have McAfee, we literally ask them, do you want to authorize the virus removal now, or do you want to wait until we detect what it is first? And they kind of looked at us shocked because they think, I'm protected. Or, I get my antivirus from my internet service provider. They give me a free copy of McAfee or a free copy of something else. That software that you're getting from your internet service provider isn't even the full version of the product that you get if you go out and pay for it. You're getting a boned down version. The reason that internet service providers want you to run something is because it reduces the garbage on their network traveling back and forth. It saves them money to give that to you. They're not interested in protecting your network and protecting your computer and making sure you've got all the latest protections for everything. They don't care about that. It's not that they're bad people. They're just looking out for their bottom line. They're not looking out for you. And a lot of people install this security software under the assumption that it's looking out for them, but it's not. This is the reason that we recommend Sophos Antivirus. Now, to give you guys a quick history lesson, for those of you who are new to the program, we used to recommend a product called Semantic Endpoint. We recommended it for, 8 years, 9 years. It was the best you could get. It was made by a company called Semantic. It was the company that used to make Norton, but it was the corporate version of their software. Businesses everywhere ran it. And we came up with the idea, what if we said we're the administrator of a network and each of our customers is a computer on our network? We could then administer security for our customers so they don't have to answer all the stupid questions. Do you want to allow this or exclude that? Or, so-and-so is trying to get into your computer. What should I do about that? It all pops up on our end because we're the network administrator, and then we handle it, and our customers don't even see it happening. It literally is like it never even happened. It was great. Then Semantic broke up as a company. They sold their consumer division. They formed a new company with Lifelock to make Norton Lifelock. They couldn't use the engine they were currently using in the Norton security software was the same one they were using in the Endpoint software. So they couldn't use that engine because they sold Endpoint to another company who wanted to get into corporate security. Then the pandemic hit. Yay. And so now all of a sudden we were left with our customers and we're like, we don't know if Semantic Endpoint, which is not Semantic anymore, if Endpoint is going to actually keep our customers safe. The Semantic company is gone. So what happened to the virus research lab? Who got that in the divorce? We don't know. No one will tell us anything. How can we've always said if there was something better that came along that we would move to that for our customers. And so we had to look real hard. And what we found was Sophos. Sophos is more expensive. It costs us more to protect you with Sophos than it did with Endpoint, almost double, which, it's pretty significant because we pay for it every month. You guys pay for it once a year. We pay every month. So it's pretty significant. Secondly, the Endpoint software had something called Watchdog Tech. This has artificial intelligence. The AI basically says, you know what, you're a human and you probably aren't opening 5,000 files at the Duluth tractor factory and changing them and saving them every second. So there's probably something going on here. So we're just going to stop that. We're going to put a pin in it and save it for later when we can review it. If Duluth would have had Sophos installed on their computers, they would not be in the situation they are in right now. Whoever the director of IT is for that company, he's got a rough couple weeks ahead of him and then probably lost of a job after that. It's crazy. So what we're going to do, the barrier is with Sophos, you have to pay for each installation you have on each device. Some people are like, oh, that hurts. So it's normally $160 to put it on a device, $70 a year to renew it. We are discounting it this month only to $99. This is the only, we do it once a year. In fact, I don't think we even did it last year because the price went up so much. But we're going to do it this year. We're going to cut the price from $160 to $99 for installation on any computer. You can put it on a Mac, a PC, a Linux computer, any computer. If you want to protect your phone or your tablet, your iPad, your iPhone, your Android device with Sophos, it's even cheaper. It's only $65 a year, $69.99 a year to protect your phone, tablet, or other mobile device. So definitely give us a call over at Schrock Innovations. Any of the locations can help you get this installed on your computer. If you want to purchase the Sophos software on our website, you can do so. We will then reach out to you to schedule a time to do a Schrock desk to install it. You don't even have to come into the service center, guys. We can do it all over the Schrock desk. And then you will have the security that you deserve and the protection that you need to keep your family and your home network safe. 888-250-2091. Going to take a quick break here. When we come back, I mentioned AVG and Avast have a big flaw. We're going to tell you what's been lurking in that software for a decade. Coming up next on Compute This.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs, and all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually, or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, rolling on with Compute This. Thanks for joining us this morning. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms listening out there. We appreciate you and everything that you do. Aside from just the act of becoming a mother, every mom knows what I'm talking about. Because it never ends, right? 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the program this morning. If you have a question or a comment, we have a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate we give away at the end of the program to one lucky caller who calls in, asks a question, makes a comment, contributes to the program in some way. Coming up on the program, my son Jacob is going to be joining us for his first ever radio appearance. Well, actually, I think it's his second. He did one when he was like 6, and he was like cute kid then, you know? So we'll... His first ever adultish radio appearance coming up, and he's going to talk about his Eagle Scout project that he is working on to provide necessary items to foster kids in the Omaha metro area. So if that's something that is near or dear to your heart, I encourage you to stay tuned and listen to that. He'll be telling you how you can help with his project, and it's a small thing. He's not asking people to come out and build lattice work or dig ditches or anything like that. I mean, it's a really simple thing that it's one of those many hands makes light work kind of deals. So definitely stay tuned for that one. Now, I mentioned before, I know there's a lot of people out there who are using AVG or Avast. They're the same company now. They're the same product now. So if you're using one, you're using the other. And for some time, they've shared some technology between the two products. They are easily the two most popular free options. They have a free option and a paid option. I always argue that I don't know why people pay for it, because the free option is 99.9% of what you get in the paid version, but some people do pay for it. Now, this bug that I'm going to tell you about was patched in February. It was discovered a few months before that, and then it was patched in February. But it had lurked in Avast and AVG for 10 years. There is no evidence that this bug was ever used to exploit the software, but SentinelOne unveiled 2 serious zero-day vulnerabilities in Avast and AVG, and the threats went unnoticed for 10 years. The vulnerabilities allow attackers to basically artificially elevate their privileges. In English, what that means is it allows an attacker to take complete control of your computer and do whatever they want when they're not supposed to be able to do that. They can disable system security tools. They can turn off your antivirus. They can change your settings. They can do all kinds of stuff. So the reason I'm bringing this up, every piece of software, including Sophos, has had vulnerabilities. When you make software, there are going to be people who think around what you did and try to figure out a way to get through it. The difference is how you handle vulnerabilities. And this is what separates a professional corporate-grade antivirus from a consumer-grade antivirus. And there's all the features, all the benefits, But let me tell you, you can go on Google. You can do this yourself. You can go on Duck, and you can search for Sophos vulnerability. And you will get the CVE details of every Sophos vulnerability that's been reported, ever. Publicly available. Publicly remediated. Admitted to, so that IT administrators know how to protect their networks. This level of transparency is the kind of stuff we want to see Elon do to Twitter. You know, I mean, you literally know what's going on under the hood here. I did a quick search because, you know, there's all kinds of stuff. They have hardware firewalls. They have lots of security products. But the one our customers are going to be concerned with is Sophos Endpoint. So I'm like, you know what? Let's be even-handed here. I'm talking about a 10-year-long Avast AVG problem. When is the last time Sophos Endpoint had an issue? Well, it looks like Mac users had one in 2021. That basically an attacker could execute arbitrary code with administrator privileges. That's the same thing that happened to Avast, except it was publicly documented, publicly addressed, and remediated, as opposed to a security research firm called SentinelOne discovered this and forced AVG and Avast to respond to it. There is no Avast AVG page that talks about their vulnerabilities and patches, things that they've done to improve their software. There is no page like that for Norton Lifelock. There is no page like that for McAfee products because they're consumer-grade products. Consumers don't go read CVE dispatches. They just don't do it. Then in 2021, a couple months before that, there was another issue. Somebody was really attacking Macs. There was another issue where the same thing could happen with Sophos on a Mac. Again, publicly admitted, addressed, and remediated to keep Mac users safe. You think your Mac doesn't get viruses? Let's see. In 2022, in April, there was a bug that somebody could craft a zip file in a very specific way. A zip is a compressed file. And that would allow somebody to get around the scanner. It would allow the virus to reside in the zip file and hide there. Well, they figured that one out, and they said, oh, you know what? And they publicly, again, disclosed it, acknowledged it, remediated it, patched it. Going back, looking for something else that's more significant for Windows, we have to go back to 2019, where there was a error or bug in Sophos that could allow a password to leak that you were typing in, a keystroke logger. So literally, guys, going back in time, we can see every single thing that happened. Show me this kind of transparency for any other antivirus software out there. This is the kind of stuff that builds trust. This is why Elon wants to open source everything at Twitter. I don't know if he'll actually be able to do it, but this is why he wants to do it. When you see everything that's happened, it builds trust because you can trust that if something happens, the company is going to respond, remediate, patch it, and keep you safe. This is going to happen to any software. So I'm not trying to tear down AVG and Avast because they had a bug that went unnoticed for 10 years until a security researcher found it. Because everyone's had that happen. Apple's had that happen. Android has had, Google, Amazon, everybody has had that happen. The difference is how you handle it. Are you professional about it? Or do you just assume that your consumers are too stupid to understand and sweep it under the rug and patch it only when it comes to the attention of the public through media articles, through SentinelOne? 888-250-2091. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break here, guys. Stay with us. Jacob is coming up next to talk about his Eagle project. Also, we have a new feature going live in our Sophos software this week. So yes, we are discounting the price, and we're giving you a new feature that is going to go the extra mile to keep you safe, keep your parents safe, keep your kids safe while they're using the internet. We're going to tell you about it coming up next on Compute This.
Now you can configure and purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, and more, all at the new SchrockInnovations.com. Check out our specials for one-of-a-kind discounts and deals. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed semantic endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. take a look at the special section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. And now, Compute This Pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier, so take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
I'm Karen McHugh. Activists for and against abortion are out in the streets of New York this Mother's Day in the wake of last week's leak of a Supreme Court draft opinion that could end up overturning Roe v. Wade.
Pro-choice activists demonstrating outside the Basilica of St. Patrick's Old Cathedral on Mulberry Street in Lower Manhattan. A smaller group of pro-life supporters standing on the church steps faced pro-choice demonstrators while praying the rosary and singing the hymn Ave Maria. A spokesperson for the Archdiocese telling me, quote, "We will work with law enforcement and take appropriate steps as needed."
Sharon Crowley of Fox 5 New York. Police in Raleigh, North Carolina say a man was throwing Molotov cocktails and setting parked cars on fire. This happened Saturday afternoon outside the police station. Following orders to stop, the man refused. Police then shot and killed him. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
A few spotty showers lingering through about the lunch hour. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. Temperatures slowly warming to around 70 degrees this afternoon. Partly cloudy overnight, a low around 65 with breezy south winds. Windy and sunny on Monday, hot with a high near 92. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist David Keller.
Alrighty, folks, thanks for joining us on Compute This today, and thanks for sticking with us to the bottom of the hour there. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We are broadcasting live right now at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Bradley has a great question. He's like, I can go on to the Play Store right now and download Sophos for free. So what's the difference? Yes, you can download Sophos for free. Like most antivirus products, they have a free version that you can use to kind of get a feel for how it's going to work for your device. When you download the free version on your device, it doesn't come with any of the protections that we have set up. So imagine if you have there's so many ways that Sophos can be configured. It's a multitude of ways. And when you get it free from the Play Store or from the App Store, it has zero configuration. Like, it's just running in the background. If some egregious threat pops up, it'll deal with it, but it's not going to have a ransomware protection. It's not going to have a lot of the other things that you would want to have on that device. Now, when you get it from Schrock, we have gone through every single option, and there are thousands of options, and turned them on or turned them off based on our customers' needs. How long are you able to disable your Sophos for as a customer? We used to say not at all, because that's the safest way. Well, then, we learned that sometimes customers do want to turn it off for a specific reason. So we said, okay, you can turn it off for 5 minutes, but you can't turn it all the way off, because the first thing to install this codec to watch this video, first turn off your antivirus software. And like one person said on Facebook, you can't fix stupid. And so people will turn off their antivirus and install something, and you're like, oh, what are you doing? That's the whole point. But no, when you get it through Schrock, rather than getting it through the Play Store or through the App Store, you're getting a load of configurations and support. There's a reason we're paying every month to have that protection on your device. And there's a reason you're paying us annually to do that. So you don't get it for free when you download it. It is better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, but I don't want to get poked either. 888-250-2091. You can watch us live as well at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Now, I want to take a quick moment here and welcome my son Jacob to the program. Jacob, I was discussing this with Raj during the break, and I said, I think this is your first radio appearance ever, but no, I think we did have you on when you were like 6, and you did something video game related. It was really, you were like the cute kid on the radio. So, now you're 15, and you're working on your Eagle project, and I guess tell us a little bit. First of all, let's start off by saying, what is an Eagle project? Are you saving eagles?
No. So, actually, an Eagle Scout project is basically the Boy Scout version of a test. It's just to prove your leadership skills and as well as your teamwork, just guiding other scouts to do a certain project that you have put together. And the project has to benefit the community, right? Yes, the project has to benefit the community. Okay. Well, so you're going for your Eagle Scout rank, which requires you to complete the project. So I'm guessing you have a project you want to tell us about today. What project did you choose to benefit the community? So my project, the Sweet Jeans Pajama Drive, is a project that benefits Release Ministries Foster Care Closet. And what I want to do for them is I want to have 50 fleece tie blankets made for comfort as comfort items for children entering foster care, as well as doing a pajama drive to collect 200 new pairs of pajamas, which would supply the care closet for about a year. Gotcha. Now, you were at the care closet a couple days ago, taking some pictures and doing some homework there. What did you see on the shelves? Were there a lot of blankets? Were there a lot of pajamas? What they did have, from what I could tell, was mainly just toiletries and some like winter clothes. But the pajamas and blankets are something that they're urgently needing as of now. The lady I met with, Kim, yesterday, she had brought in 6 of the tie blankets that I'm going to be, that she made, and all of them went out within an hour to an hour and a half. 6 blankets in an hour? So they went out in about an hour to an hour and a half. So it's something that they always will need. And pajamas, they're always running out of sizes like 240 boys. Same with girls. Gotcha. Now, I went to the gala for Release, where basically we got to hear a little bit about what they do and the behind the scenes and stuff. And the idea that some children have never had a pair of pajamas. Literally, they could be 13 years old and they've never had a pair of pajamas. They just sleep in whatever they're wearing. And the idea that a little kid doesn't have a blankie. It's heart-wrenching. And so I understand with the tie blankets, you have all the fabric that you need, and so you've got volunteers coming in to actually assemble the blankets. What a tie blanket is, where you cut the edges and then you tie a bunch of knots, which is a perfect scout activity. You know what I mean? Get those scouts tying knots, right? Yep. But the big thing that I think that you need help with is the pajama part of the drive. Is that correct? That is absolutely correct. Okay, so what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish with pajamas? With the pajamas, as I said previously, I want to try to get 200, but if I can get even more than that, I would be thrilled. What's the significance of the 200 number? Why 200? The 200 number, so last year, the care closet itself had served around 200, just a little over 200 kids in the Omaha area. and it is my goal to be able to supply them for an entire year, so they don't have to worry, and that they can send kids home with like a full duffel bag or a backpack of just stuff that they can have that is rightfully theirs.
So 200 pairs of pajamas would be enough to carry the foster closet for a year, roughly?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where 200 comes from. So how do you plan to collect the pajamas for your drive?
So for anybody that would like to donate, if they want to either go to the store, they can purchase new pajamas there and then donate them at any of the Schrock Innovations locations in Lincoln, Papillion, Omaha, or Des Moines. Yes, quite a coincidence. And then if you don't feel like going into a store, if you want to visit my Facebook page for the project, that is Facebook / Sweet Dreams Eagle Project. On that Facebook page, there is a Amazon wish list where you can go, and anything that you purchase from that wish list will be shipped directly to my doorstep, and I will sort it by size, gender, and box it, and then eventually, once I get everything together, I'll make the entire delivery to release.
You know, this is one of the things, and on Mother's Day, moms out there, if you had to fold and sort 200 pairs of pajamas, do you not think that would take you some time? It takes a lot of time to take these things in and catalog them and sort them, because we want to make sure we're getting a proper assortment, I'm guessing, of sizes and size ranges for different kids and boy and girl distributions. So I've taken a look at your list there as well. And I put a link to it on our Facebook page here in the broadcast, facebook.com/Sweet Dreams Eagle Project. And the way the Amazon wish list works is you just you put it in your cart and you check out just like you would on Amazon, just like if you were buying something for yourself. But when it goes to ship it, it just ships it to Jacob, and then that way he can accumulate the donations together and then deliver them to the release foster care, the release closet, so that they can go to foster care and support foster care kids. So is there anything else about your project that you would like to add before we let you go, Jacob?
No, that's about it. Gotcha. But I would just really appreciate you for letting me be on today, and hope to reach my goal.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for doing such a good thing for the community. You know, it's one of those things where it's easy to, I shouldn't say it's easy. It's difficult to imagine a kid not having a pair of pajamas ever. You know, it's difficult for me to imagine that. And there are definitely kids out there that are in that situation right now. And if there's 200 kids in a year that need pajamas, and this project can do that for the kids in the Omaha metro area, I think this is a great project indeed. So thank you for joining us, Jacob. We appreciate it. Thank you for your time this morning. Thanks for getting out of bed.
Yep, thank you.
Have a great day. Go back to sleep. 888-250-2091. Also, so I mentioned that we have this thing going on with Sophos right now, where we have it on special. It's normally $160. It's down to $99. You can purchase it on our website. We'll contact you, install it over the Schrock desk, the whole bit. One of the things that we've talked about before on the program, maybe just in the aftershock, I'm not sure, but we've talked about Sophos has the ability. This is a great example of what you would get when you get it through Schrock. We make decisions on what features to turn on and turn off. We have customers that some of these scammers that call are so good and they're so convincing. I mean, they almost scammed my dad when he was alive. He's like, "Are you from Schrock?" And they're like, yes, we are from Schrock. Yes, let us in. And literally, I've got a story here. Once they have access to your screen, they have complete control. Now, this was an article that was on ZDNet about people getting their cryptocurrency wallets cleaned out because they let people take control of their screen and have access to the computer. Because once these guys are in there, it can be really difficult to get them out. That you don't know if they're actually out or if they're not. Your screen goes black. Did the computer go to sleep, or is the guy blacked your screen and doing stuff, behind the scenes, which is something that they do. Now, one of the things that we want to do at Schrock is we want to prevent that from happening to our Sophos subscribers, because literally we have not had a single person with Sophos report a virus infection. The only problems we've had are when people specifically allow people to remote into the computer who seem genuine but are not genuine. And so we want to put a speed bump in the path for that right now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn on a feature starting next week that will disallow you from basically allowing people to remote into your computer unless you specifically say, hey, Schrock, I want to let this person remote into my computer. And it's just a check. And primarily this is, and we can turn it off permanently. If you're somebody who, has people remoting in all the time and you don't want to deal with the hassle, we can turn it off all the time. It's very flexible on a per customer basis. But for elderly people, for example, you want your grandma, your grandpa, your mom, your dad to stop and have to call somebody who knows what they're doing. My grandmother-in-law literally was at Walmart trying to buy a money pack for somebody. And it was a $400 money pack. And money pack's like a gift card, basically, you can send to people. And the cashier at the Walmart literally saved her and said, why are you buying a money pack for $400? Just asked her that. What business is it of yours why I'm buying a money pack for $400? Well, because she was getting scammed, and this one cashier was able to catch that and stop that. I'm sure there are people listening right now who can tell you they got scammed, and there was no one there. There's no Walmart cashier there to save them. So if we can stop it from happening, we want to do that. So basically what this does is the bad guys will be like, let me connect to your computer, and then they'll try to connect, and they'll try to connect, and they'll try to connect, and it won't work. Now, it doesn't stop the Schrock desk. The Schrock desk is allowed through, so we are able to connect. So if you get a call from somebody who says your IP address is infected and everything is wrong with your computer, and they're trying to remote in and they can't get in, then you call us because, hey, I buy Sophos, and these guys are telling me that I'm infected. We're able to connect to your computer and show you that you're not infected, that they're just making it up, that they were trying to trick you into letting them into your computer. So it's a really neat security tool we're going to be enabling next week that's going to really ratchet up the security level for our customers. If it becomes burdensome or bothersome for anybody listening for any reason, just let us know and we can disable it for you very easily on our end. And the disabling it is instantaneous. We turn it off and anybody can remote in. And so it's one of those things that we try to do to make sure we're keeping you safe. 888-250-2091. Jim, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
So I've got an email that came from Google, no reply accounts, google.com, and it's titled Critical Security Alert. And then inside it says, some of your passwords were found in a data breach at a site or app that you use. And then they give me a place that I could click on, check passwords. But listening to your show, I'm too afraid to click that password.
Don't click a link.
And then they gave a link also.
All right, let me take a look here. I'm going to get you the site to go to because there is a website you can go to that will check to see if your passwords have been stolen.
They gave me an https://myaccount.google.com, but I didn't trust that either because it was on the same email.
No, there's a website called Have I Been, and it's pronounced Pond. Have I Been, so HAVE, have, I, the letter I, been, BEEN, and then Pond is spelled funny, PWNED.
I see it there.
I have been pond, or haveibeenpond.com. You can type in your email address or your phone number into that box and click the button.
I see it.
And it will tell you if any passwords associated with that email address or phone number have been found in any dark web breaches or anything like that. So you don't have to have a special service to do this. And it's possible that email is legitimate from Google, but this is just a way, rather than you clicking the links, you did everything perfectly, not clicking the link and checking it yourself.
Okay, so I pulled that up. It says 3 steps to better security, but I guess I just have to follow through this.
Yes.
I don't see anything coming up there.
Well, basically, 3 steps to better security right above that. So I typed in mine, and it says, oh, no, I've been pwned. And it says that I was found in 24 data breaches. And then underneath that, it says 3 steps to better security.
Okay, I see it. It says pwned in 4 data breaches and no paste.
Yep, and if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the accounts that were compromised. And then you can go through and rotate passwords or change passwords accordingly. All right, I've got to run, Jim. Thank you for the call. I appreciate you joining us here on the program. We're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, China is banning all U.S.-made PCs, servers, even the Windows operating system. We're going to tell you what's going on with this and what impacts it could have on your investment portfolio coming up next on Compute This.
Today's fragile computers need maintenance more than ever. Your computer needs a maintenance checkup every 6 months to last beyond its 18-month expected lifespan. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 299. There are enough mothballed computers in U.S. homes to give one to every man, woman, and child in the country. Many of these computers find their way into landfills where they can leak cadmium, lithium, and other nasty chemicals into the groundwater. Schrock Innovations is very proud of the fact that we recycle more e-waste every year than we create. You can drop off any old or broken computer equipment to our service centers at any time, free of cost. We only charge $15 just for monitors because they are especially difficult to process. No appointment is required, and we accept all computer-related equipment like printers, keyboards, speakers, and accessories. Additionally, the rare earth elements in computers can be recycled right here in the U.S. to reduce our reliance on supplies from foreign countries. Take a moment, drop off your old computer equipment today, and Schrock will make sure it's properly recycled and put to good use right here in the U.S. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, final segment of the program. Thanks for sticking with us through the hour here. I want to bring you a story really quick before we jump back into these phones. China is banning PCs from American companies, well, from any company outside of China. This would include HP, Dell, Apple. They're no longer allowed in any Chinese government applications. No Chinese government agencies can use them. Also, they cannot be used in any partially owned Chinese state company. That's critical because that's pretty much all of them. This extends to operating systems that are not natively developed. This would be Windows. So I don't know if Linux would be impacted by this or not, because my guess is whatever operating system China develops is going to be loosely based on Linux, because, why reinvent the wheel if you've got an operating system there that you can start with. But China has been spending a lot of time. There's already native software that replicates the functions of Photoshop, that replicates the functions of Microsoft Office. They have a lot of native software that is suspiciously similar to these programs. And now they want to completely domesticate their IT infrastructure base. There are two major computer makers for consumers. Lenovo, you might be familiar with. They're the ones that sell the really, really inexpensive computers at Best Buy. You can get a Lenovo laptop for $100, $200 less than you would spend on a laptop otherwise. Problem is if it breaks, literally there are no U.S. part depots. We have to order parts from China if it breaks, and it takes a month to get here because the laptop is made exclusively in China. It used to be made by IBM, but IBM sold it to a Chinese company. The other one is Huawei. For a short time, you were able to actually buy Huawei computers also at the box stores. But then when the whole thing with Huawei getting banned by Trump and all that came down, it kind of broke their retail chain links a little bit. You can still buy them online. You can still get them on Newegg. They're still a lot cheaper. The problem is you just don't know what else is under the hood when you buy one of these computers. Lenovo software especially has had some issues with data breaching and leaking and, vulnerabilities that could be exploited should a state actor decide to exploit them. Let's put it that way. If you are an investor in any of these companies, this could mean closing off the entire Chinese government sector to all of these American companies. Not exactly something that would, I don't know, be kosher pickles with the first phase trade agreement. Remember that? We had a first phase trade agreement where we're going to send a bunch of stuff to China and they're going to buy a bunch of our stuff, right? I don't know if that actually ever happened. I should look into that. 888-250-2091. Susie, thanks for staying on the line. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Hi, Shrock. I just wanted to let you know I purchased a laptop from your office over on 370 a couple months back.
Oh, thank you.
And I just want to tell you, the staff was very helpful. I went back because my husband and I were listening to our church online, and we just couldn't hear. And went back, and they checked it out to make sure everything was programmed correctly. Turns out it was our ears. But we got some speakers from them, and that was really helpful.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you the staff was really great. And I have a question. It doesn't have to do with my laptop, but
okay.
Can you find out where something is airdropped to you or from?
Well, if somebody airdrops something to you?
Yeah.
Like who it came from?
How do you do? Well, my grandson was in school,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody airdropped an inappropriate picture to his tablet.
Mm.
And they're blaming him for it, and he's trying. I mean, it just came on. He said it just dropped into his tablet or whatever.
Boy, and
he tried to talk to him, but they wouldn't listen to him, and they're trying to punish him for it. But the thing is, I know, everybody says their kid doesn't lie. My kids took away Halloween, his birthday party, when they caught him in a lie. I mean, I used to think they were too strict, but I'm so thankful now that they were. But the kid just doesn't lie.
Right.
And he's tried to explain to him, so we're trying to figure out, is there a way that we can trace where the airdrop came from? Because he deleted it, but is there a way that they can trace to where it came from?
Probably.
It actually went to other kids in the class, too.
Yeah, I don't believe so, but I'm trying to... The maximum distance that two devices can be apart for an airdrop to work is 30 feet. So he was 30 feet away from whoever sent it to him.
So he was in a full classroom.
Yeah, so somebody in the classroom dropped it to people in the classroom. That's my guess.
Okay.
But yeah,
Is there any way to trace where it came from? Or
unfortunately not. They're all sent encrypted. So unfortunately there's not.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Thanks
All
for
right,
the call,
well,
Susie. I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful in that regard for you there. Lucy, stay on the line. I'll take your call coming up here after the conclusion of the program. A quick program note. Everybody listening who is looking for the Aftershock, there is no Aftershock today. It's Mother's Day, and I've got some other things to take care of this morning, so I won't be able to do an Aftershock for you, but I promise I'll be back next week with another one. I tried to make sure I squeezed as much as I could into the hour for you, though. Thanks for listening, everybody. Jim, you're the winner, and we'll talk to you all next week on Compute This.
From the Amish Furniture of Nebraska studio, your home for made in the USA furniture. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB.